Hello, in this video lecture we need to know the assignment number 7 of compiler. This is a lab assignment number 7 of compiler. The title is implementation of instruction scheduling algorithm. So in this video lecture we need to much more focus on the instruction scheduling. Okay, now why there is necessary for instruction scheduling, that is what we call as instruction reordering, we generally called it is. Okay, let's go to the example. Consider this is an example: x equals to a star b plus c divided by d. So this is a particular example, and here the abstract syntax tree of the above example is this: x equals to plus then star a plus b divided by c minus d. Okay, now need to convert this into the 3 address code. When we process this into all phases of compiler, and when we go to the code generation, when we go to the actual code generation, okay, so this actual code generation need to schedule the each and every instructions. Okay, need to schedule the each and every instruction. So this is what we call as machine dependent code optimization. Okay, so once we develop the particular target code, and there's a necessary to schedule the each and every instruction to optimize it. Okay, so here what we generate, so this is the generally what we call as a target code we generate for the above expression. That what we need to do, we have to load first of all a into the register, that is register R1. We have to load b into register R2. Then we'll perform the multiplication operation. Okay, then we have to load c into some register, d into some register, and then we perform the division operation. Then the a star b, that is already stored into one register, which is added with c minus c division by d. Okay, so there is an addition will be performed, and then finally what we are going to perform, we going to perform the storing operation. Okay, so likewise we are going to use some instructions over here. Okay, now we need to know the latency, what the latencies is there, or how much time particular compiler required to execute each and every statement. So when the compiler taken the store instruction, so to execute the store instruction, the latency is a 2 cycle it requires. When he perform a simply add operation, it requires a latency 1. Load operation, when it perform, the latency is 3. Mult operation it perform, its latency is 2. And when he perform the division operation, its latency is 5. So consider these are the latencies, okay, which is required to execution of each and every instruction. Or in general what we say, that in general we particularly say that's a time which is required to execute the each and every instructions. Okay, that we already learn in the concept of microprocessor for the execution of each and every instructions. Now here we follow the same order, and we are going to check how much register we required for maximum register we required for the execution of execution of the last problem statement. So execution of this problem statement, that is x equals to a into b plus c by d, how much register it requires. So on the basis of this we are going to understand how much register it requires. Suppose that instruction we have to return over here, and while the conversion of any 3 address code into the machine code, compiler assume that he have the number of register with us, because of whenever the data present into the register, the operation is much more faster. So he considers that he have the number of registers, okay, with us. Now here on the basis of this we have to perform the instruction that load a into R1, load b into R2, multiplication R1 and R2, result store in R3, load c into R4, d into R5, perform the division operation R4 and R5, result store into R6, addition of R7 with R3 and R6, and then finally store R7 back to the X. So this is an instructions. Now we have to check how much total cycles it requires to execute these instructions. Okay, so while we are going to compute the total cycles we require, we are going to check the independency of each and every instruction. Means what? While we are going to do instruction scheduling, the compiler always check the independent instruction or dependent instruction. Independent instruction is nothing but the such a instruction who are not depends on any other instruction, whose value is not depends on any other instruction, or who does not take any input from any other instruction. That is what we call as independent. Okay, and dependent instruction means that instruction who requires some input from other instruction. So this is depends on someone. Okay, now here we have to start and end this latency. We have to take number, that is instruction, total 8 instructions are there. So we have to start 1. Okay, so the first instruction is completely independent instruction, so it requires, that is load instruction requires 3 latency, so 1, 2 and 3. So start at 1, end it 3. Now second instruction, load B to R2, this is what we call as dependent or independent. Yes, it is independent. So if it is independent, so they can be separately executed. So parallelly, okay, or simultaneously number of instruction can execute. This is a possible, okay, in a pipelining process. So at the 2, okay, the second instruction will start. So it requires again 3 latency, that is 2, 3, 4. Okay, now third instruction. Now third instruction R3, multiplication R2 and R1. So this is depends on the above 2 instructions. So first 2 instruction, whenever it is finished, then and only then this instruction will execute. So the second instruction finish at the 4. Okay, then at the 5th this third instruction going to start. The multi instruction requires a 2 latency, so 5, 6. Now the next one, load C to R4, this is completely independent. So the last instruction will start at 5, then this will be started with the 6, because of this is a completely independent. So simultaneously this is possible to start. So again it requires 3, so 6, 7, 8. But the next instruction again independent, so we need to start from the 7. Simultaneously 6, this instruction will start 7, 8, 9. But this instruction is, 6th instruction is depends on the 4th and 5th one. So once the 5th one is completed, then it will start. So division, it requires 5 latency. So it started from the 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Next instruction, it is again dependent on the instruction number 6 and instruction number 3. Okay, so once 6 is complete, then at the 15 it requires only 1, so 15 to 15. And next instruction, that is 16 and 17 2. So total cycle required is 17 cycle required. So 17, that much time cycle time it requires to execute the particular program. Okay, in this, when we follow this instruction ordering, okay, whenever this instruction appears, as per we are going to follow, it requires what? The complete 17 cycles. Okay, now how many registers are live over here, each and every instruction? So initially R1 is live, that the instruction number 2, R1, R2 both are live. But whenever we jump to the third instruction, only R3 is live, R1 and R2 are free. Then next one, fourth one, R3 and R4 are live. Fifth one, load R3, R4, R5 is live. When we perform the division operation, R4 get deleted, R3 is still remains, that store the multiplication result. So R3 and R6 live. R7 is live, then store, that is the name. So all registers are free. So maximum register pressure is here in the line number 5, that is a 3. Maximum register pressure is 3. Okay, so it requires maximum register is what? A 3 registers. So maximum register it requires for this operation, that is a 3 register. On the basis of this we are going to compute it. Okay, when we perform the reordering of these instructions, we got this. Means what? All simply load operation we can perform first, and then some difficult operation will do afterward. So here load A, B, C, D, that performs into R1, R2, R4 and R5, then mult division, then add and then finally store. When we go this way, okay, the total cycle that is required, that is as a 14 when we compute it. Okay, so go for the checking of dependent independent instruction. Those instructions are independent, they can be performed simultaneously, but those instructions are dependent. Okay, they have to wait until they got some input from the other instructions. So whatever the live registers are here, when we performed it, so in the first instruction R1 is live, yes. Second instructions, up to the second instruction both are live, R1 and R2. Third instruction 3 lives are there, fourth instruction 4 lives are there. So maximum register pressure when we change the instruction, okay, that is a 4. Okay, then again then 3, then 2, then 1, and then 0. Okay, when we change the instruction ordering, so total cycle requires, that is a 14. So the total cycle required, this is going to change. So your program much more faster to execute when we perform the instruction ordering. But what happen, its a drawback is what? It requires large number of registers. So maximum register pressure is what? The maximum register pressure is 4 over here. So here peak register pressure in the diagram 1 is 3. Okay, and it requires the total cycle is 17. But when we go for second example, when we reorder the instruction, so peak register pressure in the diagram 2 is 4 and 14 cycles. So what the conclusion is over here, as number of cycle reduces, then the register allocation increases. So when we perform the instruction scheduling over here, okay, which whenever we change the instructions, execution of instruction, cycle is decreases, but the allocation of register going to increases. Okay, so this is all about the instruction scheduling. We perform some scheduling over here, and while we are scheduling the instruction, means what? Scheduling is nothing but rearranging the instructions. Okay, and whenever we perform that one, so what happen, the total cycle are to be reduces, but the peak register pressure is that going to increases. Okay, so this is all the implementation of this. Thank you for watching this video.